No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Let me tell you how my squad did me dirty. I got asked, Remo, Flacco, they're like, yo, you down to do a Ceddy Nash interview with us? We're going to have a whole big panel. Maybe we can get Brick in there because, you know, he can grill him about some crib or whatever. Comes time to shoot. I'm solo.
They left you in the dorm room.
To be fair, they did schedule this Monday late afternoon, so they're like about to be filming their Here We Go Again, a.k.a. the Monday show. But here I am.
Solo. Ceddy Nash.
Without my squad. Nobody to back me up.
Man, you got people in here. Y'all know y'all love it. This is a long time coming. Solo Ceddy Nash.
But they're not on camera.
Oh, man.
Ceddy Nash, how you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed. How you?
I'm good, man. You got some big-ass hands.
You know, hey, you know the crazy rumor about me?
You ever j off and just be like, God, it's like getting off by a grizzly bear?
Nah.
No, you don't think about that?
I did get caught a grizzly bear once upon a time, though. So.
Oh, yeah, you're very grizzly bearish.
Thank you.
In terms of like human beings that could give a grizzly bear a run for his money, I feel like you might be up there.
Well, you get to verify the height, because they used to say Ceddy Nash is 5'5" and like 400 pounds.
Or what are you, like 6'5"?
Nah, 6'3".
6'3", I'm 6'3".
6'3", 280.
You feel bigger than me, because you got them big hands. Them big hands, Ceddy Nash. Okay, so what are we talking about today? They surprised me with a list.
This is a birthday list. I mean, the people pretty much want to know the Sack to LA stuff and everything like that, and even the No Jumper stuff. You know how I got it started as far as here and everything. And I can say this 100 that y'all was the first big platform to really give me a shot. Y'all ain't do no lame stuff like a Thizzler or Off the Porch, you know them.
What Thizzler and Off the Porch do to you?
I've been looking out for Thizzler for years. Like we had a big old, because I used to do security in Northern Cal, so from the Bay to like Sac and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
really? Interesting.
All your favorite artists and stuff like that. Wu-Tang, Lupe, hell,
You were
even
the
YG.
security guy.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
nobody ever asked me to do security really, so that's a good indication that you're.
They could though. You got the height, man. I think the height really intimidate people. You know what I mean?
I could be the security that just like got hella guns secretly and like, but I'm not gonna be like the one like muscling somebody around. I don't think.
I'm telling you, if you just walk around silently, you know you got the mind. You know you walk around silently. It's like you guys can't do that, man. With the flashlight.
Nah, but people are gonna be like, you do.
Well, I mean,
Right, if I wasn't me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying if you weren't you, then not. But you know, if you did security, I ain't gonna hold you. I think they'll want to take pictures with you. I don't think it's.
That's a problem. I need security. I can't be the security.
Nah.
You don't think I need security?
Nah, you definitely need security, man. You piss people off
In certain areas of life.
Well, you know, everybody's sensitive these days. So,
But okay, so how do you turn doing security to dealing with Thizzler?
So you know, a lot of things are facades in people's city. So what ends up happening is I'll get them into, this is a big boat show in Alameda outside of Oakland. And so we got like lineups, like we had all the Wu-Tang Clan members, like literally all of them. And they wasn't getting in. You see what I'm saying? They're like, hey, we Thizzler and stuff like that. I walk them in. I'm like, hey, this is when I was doing my rapping. I'm like, hey, if I let y'all in, give me an interview. Dude, emails like Amoeba or something like that, anything. I get them all in. Boom. Then I hit them up. They act like they don't know me. Scoot down years later. Ceddy Nash, one of the most popping faces of California as far as YouTube go, in my humble opinion. You know, I'm doing close to 2 to 1.5 million views a month. So what ends up happening is they keep coming out with these lists. I keep getting snubbed. I'm like, what's going on?
But who was making the list?
I don't know.
The top media platforms, those types of lists about like NorCal and stuff?
Nah, just Cali as a whole.
Okay.
Because I'll get placed in the Southern Cal, so I'm not really tripping.
I've seen those without me on it too, and I'm just like, okay, sure. Whatever.
But I think I don't know. You up here, so I don't think they think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't believe it?
I mean, I just feel like if I'm doing media and I live here,
right?
Put me on the list. But hey, if you don't want to put me on the list, it's cool.
You got to start demanding it then.
I don't give a. I never cared about my rank. Like I never like been concerned with like awards or anything like that.
No, I'm saying demanding like yo rank, your list. Like, hey, where do I rank? Y'all keep putting out all these things and stuff like that, but you up there with the academics. You're bigger than where you at? You
But
know
I'll
what I'm
have
saying?
those conversations when like BET snubs me and Ak and Vlad and shit. But like for me to have that conversation with like a little platform doing it, it's just like, okay, like I don't care, whatever.
What was going to happen? Y'all still going to do that award show?
You know, here's my read on that. Me, Ak, Vlad, we're all very good at working hard on our own behalf.
Right.
The idea that we were all just going to work together to create this really complicated thing, I don't know, man. It seems like kind of a stretch. Like, even us just getting on the phone was difficult. And then, like, throw Sean Cotton in the mix. He was even more MIA than the rest of them.
Right.
I just don't, like, because, like, think about it. What if we all, like, what are we going to do? We're going to, like, hire employees, like shared employees to help put on this show. Like, it's very hard to imagine everything being divided up equally for us to all come together. Like, I don't know. It's like probably a big part of why I've never started like a group business, because I don't think that way. I'm like motivated by doing this, and like keeping this together is its own headache. Yeah. Never mind everybody working together on an award show. I don't know. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around it.
How about it like this, right? I think y'all got like somebody that y'all probably rock with as far as doing it, somebody hosting it. You pick somebody. So No Jumper picks this person, this they nominee. Vlad picks this person, nominee. Say Cheese pick his person, nominee. Academics picks his person, nominee. And then let the fans vote.
You're talking about the categories.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying like I'm talking about the production of putting on an event, a big event that's going to cost loads of money. Never mind like putting together the content, getting us all together to make content. I mean, just everything about it is like so much work on top of the fact that we are all like damn near maxed out work-wise. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem possible.
2 hours on a weekend, get a nice little spot. You don't have to have everybody. Like, this is an online thing, basically.
2 hours. This is going to take so goddamn long, like a real production of like us discussing all these different topics.
Nah, just clip it. Just clip how y'all feel it, and then just come with it like that. This is the reason why. This is the layout. This is what they provide.
I think you are really underestimating how much work it would be, as probably we all were in the beginning. But like once it actually came down to how hard it was to even get us all on the phone, it was just like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna happen.
So you don't think you can have an intermediary that could just boom, boom, boom? I mean, y'all have assistants for a reason, right?
Yeah, but like think about how busy they are.
Man, they could
imagine them making like even more time to put on this thing, and then like, I don't know. It's just very unrealistic. I don't really have a lot of faith that it's going to happen, but in theory it could. Okay, so you're working with Thizzler.
No, I wasn't working with this.
Never mind.
I do quid pro quo stuff.
Okay, but you were doing all these interviews, and then what happened?
No, I wasn't doing no interviews.
Oh, well.
I was supposed to do an interview, so I was coming back doing the music stuff and everything, and they ain't give me that. So I just, if I do something for you, and you tell me, all right, we got this agreement, then cool. But it's cool. They falling off in their views anyway. It's them off the porch, lame asses, charging people $1,500, $1,600 for an interview. That's only gonna do like 400 views.
Oh, that's what they do?
Man, bro, oh, you ain't seen. I mean, they minuscule, but that's what they do. They charge people to come through, and they're not getting that many views. Like, you could go to it right now, and you can see they're dropping interviews for people doing $1,500. Like, that's not small change for anybody.
Yeah, that's like the whole business model. You like fight real hard to get the people that are actually going to make you some money,
right?
And then you charge everybody else. You know what I'd be paying attention to is all those like freestyle channels like on the radar. I'd be like searching the names of the people who are freestyling on that. Which, by the way, it's almost never a freestyle. It's like people just go in and just perform their best song,
right?
But most people haven't heard that song, so it's like it comes off like a real thing. Like, this is a song. Like, but the thing that's crazy about it is like a lot of times I search these people's name, they got like 50 views. So it's like, oh, I mean, I don't want to accuse them of taking money if they aren't.
They are. I'll say it.
But they definitely, that's basically got to be the deal, which is just interesting. Like, is that the long-term vision of a lot of these platforms? Because to me, taking money for content that you put on your YouTube channel, I don't know, it really kind of takes away from the brand. It's kind of hard for me to.
And that's why they're suffering. That's why you get it off the porch and the Thizzler suffering, because
on the radar seems like they're doing really good for the record. But yeah, I mean, definitely making a serious business off YouTube money is pretty tough these days.
Yeah, but I mean, once you have a business model and you stick to it, you don't deviate too much off of it. People come for what they come from. You know, I liken it to, I'm not going to go to a car shop like Mercedes-Benz and purchase steaks. You don't want to, it's branding, you know. I buy a Mercedes Benz for the car. I don't buy it for food. I don't buy it for shoes or stuff like that. So it's stick to what you're supposed to be doing. You know, it's just those little things. But that's my little gripe about it, because I don't mind getting slighted, but I want to know your criteria. As I start searching up people's criteria, they have people, and this is no shade to anybody, but I'm just wondering, you know, criteria-wise, what are we doing here? I seen cats with 2,000 subscribers and doing like 97 views and stuff like that. And hey, they got on there. Maybe they paid for the list. If that's the case, then cool. Because you do want to have your list a little bit chaotic. If it's not, then nobody gonna pay attention. You know, we pay attention to the snubs. Oh, he got snubbed. He's not as good as this person. But we talking about it, and that's what you ultimately want.
Right.
You want a little bit of chaos.
I feel it. So, okay, where's the story go from there?
I just been dissing. That's all. I ain't even diss him. I just was pissed off, and then people were attacking me for it, and I'm just like, man. But you know, it is what it is. I'll leave it be for what it is. But I'm cool with it. You know, I ain't gonna be the people's most loved or nothing like that as far as those platforms go. But it's like, I'll just collaborate with no jumper.
I don't mind that at all. What about okay, so like how did you kind of get into what you're doing now in terms of doing so much like commentary shit and like uncovering? Are you with the Exposers, Whack 100's group?
I don't know anything about that.
You're not with the Exposers. Okay.
What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
They expose people who snitched.
Oh, I ain't gonna hold you. I probably helped create that wave with 1090 Jake. I think we kind of mess YouTube up a little bit with that because, you know, I put out the YSL Woody video. I put out a lot of footage with people getting in trouble and stuff, doing stuff that they shouldn't do and stuff like that. So they'll say things that you ain't supposed to say. But for me, I'm just putting it out there, but I'll give commentary to it. Some people, they'll put it out there and won't give commentary to it so that people can judge it. And that ultimately might be the best way to go. But like I put out the Gunna video, you know, I put out a bunch of stuff as far as a lot of things go. And the Young Thug clip and stuff like that went mega viral. And they kept on saying Ceddy Nash exclusive on there. And man, I got ripped on goddamn Twitter.
I've definitely had that experience of listening to some audio like that and it just says your name 10,000 times over it. And I'm just like, holy this is insane. Like, I cannot believe this is the world we live in, that you got to like really just put this every 2 seconds over the audio. How'd you get that?
I can't tell you that. I don't, come on, man.
Okay.
You got to sign an NDA. You willing to sign an NDA?
I don't think I care that much, but I don't know what else it's going to say in this NDA.
Nah. I can't never, expose that type of shit because, like, I got asked the other day if I was going to go to Young Thug, because I stayed in Atlanta as well. If I was going to go to the YSL trial, I said, I'm going to jail as soon as I hit there.
Why?
Because they're going to want to know how I got my hands on certain things, and I'm not finna say shit, so you're not going to get it out of me. So they just going, well, we'll just hold you and see what we can do. I
thought you were saying that you're going to go to jail because you're going to have to fight his like family members or something, or like get into a brawl with his homies there.
Nah. For the most part, I think they cool because, I had to switch from a certain image on YouTube. You remember I used to have a blue rag on my face and stuff like that. I had to switch to the hood lawyer because I had records that's like, we could let you interview certain people, but we can't do it because you're showing this image right here. So the early videos used to be, whatever talks about whatever. And then I had to switch it up. And then I went to hood lawyer because I understood you got to switch this up because it's only going to have a certain lane. And then I started seeing other people with the exact same title. And so they were stripping the algorithm from me. And I'm like, yeah, let's just switch it up and just put the rapper's name and whatever I got to say about it. But yeah, I just believe I'm going to go to jail because I got snatched by the feds and I went to the O Block trial.
Right.
And I don't know who told on me. I don't know if it was FBI Butters or if it was Trenches, whatever he calls himself now.
Right. So what was that experience like? Tell me about that.
With the Fed stuff?
When you went to the O Block trial. Because like you don't normally be in Chicago, right? You decided...
I'm always in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I'm always in Chicago. That's the funniest part about it. Like every city I talk about, I be in those cities. I'll do the live stream, all that. Because I don't...
what? Why you go there?
I love it out there. Chicago. It's a beautiful city.
But you travel just to what? Just hang out, get a hotel room, and just chill?
Yeah, I love Chicago. I thought about moving out there. Have you been to Chicago like that?
I've been to Chicago a bunch of times, but I don't go to like random. I travel very rarely. It's like so much harder to get work done when you go
different
places.
You just did Puerto Rico, right?
Puerto Rico, yes.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get shit done. I mean, I actually wrote a lot of my No Jumper documentary. Got kind of like finished that out there. But when I travel, it's just such a pain in the ass, and it's expensive to like get more. Like, there's very few places I can go that I could be more productive than I am at home.
Right.
Which is always a thing for me.
But to the getting snatched by the feds, what ended up happening was.
And what was your plan for being at the trial? You
Just to see what's going on. I'm just being nosy.
Okay.
Cloud chasing, I can say that. Like, you know, I'm being nosy as hell. They like, oh, Trenches News just took the stand, and then FBI Butters just took the stand. And when he got up here, he lied, bro. I swear to you, he lied. I watched him get on the stand and say King Von killed K.I. He said he said he stood over her. When the transcripts come out, majority, because I couldn't watch it no more, bro. Like, you lied on Mickey Truth. Your mama talked to Mickey Truth. 2 days. Well, a day before, and she was saying, you know, y'all got paid for this and paid for that. And then she get escorted, because ultimately what happens is this. I show up to the courthouse. I'm finna go up in there, because I know certain people. I'm not going to say who names and stuff like that, but I know people that's in this case. So I go up, and I see FBI Butters, his manager. I didn't know who he was. He looked like some super Muslim dude with dreads. And then I see Mickey Truth. And so while the court is going on, they're sidebarring. I'm not knowing this. My goofy ass walk up, because when you go in, you got to go through the scanner and stuff like that and everything, the metal detector. And then you go up, when you go in the courtroom, you got to go through another metal detector and take your phone and they give you a key, little lockbox, stuff like that. I do that. I walk up. And as soon as I hit that thing, officer come through. He like, you Ceddy Nash? I just started. Like, you Ceddy Nash? You're Ceddy Nash, man.
And that's not your government, or is it?
Nah, it's not my government name.
So that's even weirder. Like, you're like coming up to me, like calling me my YouTube name.
Yeah, for the most part. But
if they came up to you with your real name, it would be like, damn, they got facial recognition technology.
Yeah, it would have been wild. I ain't gonna. If they would have came at me like that, I'd have been like, oh, damn, let me call my lawyer real quick.
But so, okay, what? They drag you in a fucking private room and interrogate you?
So what ends up happening is they say, we need to talk to you about a video that you made. So I'm already knowing, all right, check mark right there. Because one, they're not saying you're under arrest, so that's check mark right there. Two, they're telling me what they need to talk to me about, because I made a video being funny, which I ain't gonna do that no more, but I made a video saying, y'all need to ride out on Trenches News and treat him like KTS Dre, because I felt betrayed. Like, that dude, him and FBI Butters, got on Instagram and told me, oh, I didn't snitch. I didn't say this. I didn't say that. Butters told me flat out, I was in jail during this time. I'm like, so you did it? Nah, I didn't. But, man, they did that. They went up there, and then the feds basically just hit me up and was like, you need to delete that video. We're going to charge you with obstruction of justice. That's 20 years.
But, like, why would you believe them? Because, you didn't inform me that you were thinking of charging me with this very serious crime until you just happened to see me at the courtroom? Like, that's a weird...
It was weird all the way around. But I'm like, it's satire. And I came out with another video that literally says, I'm just playing. And then I try to sweeten it up like, well, you know, if you're talking about the streets, unfortunately, he's talking about cleaning up the streets. So that would be the only way that he can do it, is to get rid of these individuals so that you can give a new spark to the young life. You get what I'm saying? But I still felt the way I felt. Now, I'm not telling nobody ever crash out. And then the feds gonna say, yeah, you have influence over Chicago. I ain't got no goddamn influence in no Chicago, bro. Them ain't listening to me like that. It's the non-gangbangers, non-affiliates that's watching this because they want to know exactly what I know, because I be in all these cities I be talking about. But what ends up happening is they say that, and then I say satire. But then they said this, and this what made me delete it. They said, we're going to go to YouTube and tell on you basic. I'm like, oh, hold on.
That's smart, yeah.
Yeah, then, hold on. I'm making a decent amount of money on YouTube. What you need, boom, deleted it. But the odd part about it is they weren't supposed to do that. So on the appeal, they like, oh, yeah, we need you to do. I'm not going nowhere near that. Like, hell no. Nah. They like, oh, we need you to write this right. I ain't right. Y'all, I wish I would. Hell nah. So, you know, that's essentially what happened. But I seen Butters on the stand, and I'm telling you.
So even after that, you were able to go into the courtroom and watch?
Nah, they put me in the media room.
Oh.
And then what ends up happening is I meet somebody from Chicago Sun-Times, and then these motherfuckers just write the craziest shit. So if you read the Sun-Times article, it says that a purported Crip from L.A. goes in and tells everybody to crash out. And I'm like, bro, I would be in jail right now.
Because you said that in the video.
I said that in the video, but they said I came in the courtroom and said that. I'm like, bro, I would be in jail. Like, come
crazy. They can just say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. The news get to write up whatever they want, and because it has to meet a certain criteria, you know, it has to be 4 levels of defamation. People believe just because you say something about somebody that you can just sue them. Nah, there's elements and levels to this shit. Like,
that's why every time somebody tells me they're going to sue me for defamation, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, where's your 100,000? Because it's an automatic 100,000 you're going to pay to the lawyers.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. You ain't got that. And then these dumbasses like, you were supposed to go to jail. You weren't supposed to say anything. Bitch, I call myself a hood lawyer. So why the fuck would I sit up there and try to be judged in front of a judge and goddamn pay a bond for some shit that was clearly a fucking joke and used to get views? You get what I'm saying? So I'm not doing that whole ass shit. I had everybody on the internet, oh, you're supposed to go to jail. For what, bitch? What the fuck I look like? Who the fuck? First off, it's hard to get a fucking bond in the feds anyways. Now I'm finna take myself away from this for some shit where I'm obviously clout chasing. Nah, I'm cool on that one.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the realization I have with someone like you is that if you want to be like a hip hop influencer, commentator, etc. these days and really build it from the ground up, there's only so many spots, right? So you have like different, you have somebody like me doing interviews, you have Vlad doing interviews, you have somebody like Academics who does news. It kind of becomes like, okay, what spots are available? You got a Trap Lil Ross, he's doing these super deep dive investigative videos, but one thing that he won't do is he won't actually get up in the middle of the business. He only talks about the business. Right. He's not talking to anybody in the hood or whatever. I've said that to him before. I'm like, if you really want to do the craziest fucking video ever, you need to like actually find people that are willing to tell you everything behind the scenes and work on like confirming them through having multiple accounts, etc. He doesn't want to do all that. It feels like that's kind of like your lane. It's like, no, I'm going to be messy as fuck. I'm going to get right in the middle of this shit. I'm going to be in the courtroom. I'm going to obstruct justice. I'm going to talk to the cops on TV or the news or whatever.
Smooth.
We got to talk about that.
Nice transition.
We got to talk about that.
So did you see the actual paperwork on that?
I saw you being a leaky faucet on the news.
All right, so
getting your Gunner on. I thought maybe for a second you were ready to join YSL. I don't know.
You know, Slatty.
But you know me. I don't judge on these sort of things. I just said,
so let's find out. Let's get into that. First off, and I'm gonna do something that people ain't gonna like. At least Wack kept it real.
Okay.
I see what you did with Wack and shit. I'm like, damn, man, what the fuck Adam doing? But I get it. It's content.
What do you mean? What did I say to Wack?
So you said it was Ceddy Nash snitching on the news. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What you talking about?
I got to lay it out the way that the people saw it in order to analyze it.
Man, you better go to no jump and put Adam in a goddamn headline. I'm like, at first I'm like, God damn, but I'm like, nah, it's content. I'm content, so fuck it. It is what it is. But the LeBall dude, I don't know what is his name? The LeBall dude.
Was it somebody with Wack?
Yeah, with Wack. He was just dogging.
Was it Beast?
Yeah.
Beast.
He was over there dissing the shit out of me. First off,
oh shit,
you can Google this. Orange 15th in Sacramento is a bunch of bars. I was there to meet bitches. The news reporter is my homie. I can show you on on Facebook a couple of news reporter homies. So let's get to it. What was said versus what actually was in the goddamn report. When he say, no, what did he say? Say, you heard the conversation. I say, yeah, it's real static. And his homie say, not even a part of this S. Well, in the actual paperwork, there was never an argument. Zero. He didn't have no friends outside. It was him and Buddy. That's it. So there were no friends. There was no argument. Zero. So on top of that, who said boom, boom, boom first? Was it me or was it the news guy?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So if you rewind the news clip, he say, then boom, boom, boom. I agree. I'm like, then boom, boom, boom. Because we running the play. You had nobody. If you look at the lights where we're at, we're in the far off distance. You don't even see the blues. If you see the blues, then you right there. Yeah, think about it. Why the hell would I be next to a dead body smiling and laughing? That's a little odd.
Maybe you're just that savage.
Possible. Yeah.
Possible. But okay, so you're saying that you weren't anywhere near this.
Bro, that was a made up story.
Oh, okay.
That was a whole made up story. So when they do that, it's like, damn, all right, cool. I never say I see somebody get whacked. I never say I see a gun. I never say I see somebody get killed. I never say any of that shit. It's an argument. His homie say he ain't a part of this, and then boom, boom, boom. Which I should have put that on the shirt. I really should have ran with it and got a lot more. But that was a blessing, though, in all candor.
Military chopper with the scope go boom, boom, boom. It's a lyric, sorry.
I don't know. But no, it was a blessing because at the end of the day, I got to see what's straddling the fence. You see some lame-ass dudes who I never seen just flat out, yeah, Ceddy Nash, he can't come back to California. When the fuck this happened?
Right.
Yeah, that's literally, it was stories and bullshit and stuff like that. And I'm like, all of this shit is publicly available. When you do an appeal, all the information come out. So what really happened, the true story of what happened is, this shit was over a fucking girl. All of this shit was over a bitch. The dude was at the bar, I guess, and then seen the dude and upped the cannon on him. Now he upped the cannon on him, he shoot him. Then he get in his car. While this is happening, the police see the shit and they follow him. Now when they follow him, this fool bold as hell. He tossed the gun into his neighbor's yard, then turn around, go get something to eat, come back, police arrest him. He claims self-defense. But the crazier part is he almost had it beat on a self-defense. He said, he had a gun on him, and then the report it says that the friends took some up out of his pocket. That should have been enough. But the biggest thing I hated about it was they try to implement me on a fucking murder. Bro, this is like the fourth fucking murder they try to put on me on YouTube. Bro, this shit, like, this is some essay shit. This ain't got shit to do with you understand.
It was Mexicans.
Yeah, it was
shooting each other.
Yeah,
okay.
This is some Mexicans, bro. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm there R15 to meet bitches.
It's not like you would have any real knowledge about what was going on in this situation.
I wouldn't have been there.
Right.
I would have got the fuck up out of there because now you're not only a target, you got to go do something about that shit. I don't know these motherfuckers. I ain't seen shit. So, I mean, it was cool in a sense, like, bro, here the paperwork. Shut the fuck up.
Did you like lose any relationships with people who didn't really want to fuck with you after that, or that you didn't fuck with them because they were talking shit about it or anything like that?
You know how when when controversy strikes, people show their stripes type of thing? That's what ended up happening. I don't really fuck with people too many times. I don't really fuck with nobody like that. Like, I stay in my own lane. My circle's smaller than a dot. So certain individuals, I would see certain little remarks that they would make, and then I would see likes. Like, when I'm seeing somebody do like certain lame ass shit, a video or something like that, when they're in disagreement, I look at exactly what the person likes and what they happen to comment on and all this weak ass shit. And then what that ends up doing for me is, I get it. You was trying to ride a train, and then y'all get mad that I don't repost y'all shit. Y'all get mad I don't speak on certain things that y'all going on. I don't try to big up your topic and put it in the algorithms. So what that ends up doing is that ends up helping me to fuck out. Because it's like, bitch, I knew who you was. I just needed that opportunity to spot you, and now I got him. So, but like I said, the part that I hate the most about that shit was tying me to another fucking body. They did that shit with FBG Cash. A fake Ceddy Nash Instagram jump on his last live stream is Ceddy_Nash. I have nothing to do with this goddamn Instagram. My shit is Ceddy Nash, one word.
And what were they doing?
They was trolling them and some more shit, just saying some wild, reckless shit. And then Cash like, nigga, who the fuck you talking to? And all this shit and everything like that. And then boom, 3 hours later, he dead. And they're like, oh, Ceddy Nash did it. Ceddy Nash did it. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you? What? Like, bro, bro. But they do that lame ass shit. They've done it with a couple of people. I don't really want to bring their names up because it's still open investigations and shit. But that's the more prominent one that I could point out, even though it's not the latest one. That was actually like the oldest one. But
right,
it is what it is on that part. It's just, I've been surrounded by death. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately surrounded by death. Like, growing up, taking it from Sac all the way here, like, bruh.
Yeah, when did you come here and when did you become a Crip?
What I don't know what a Crip is. What is that?
Community Revolution in Progress.
I'm not a Crip. I don't know what that is.
Well, okay. When did you become a gang member?
Not a gang member. I'm just I got a brotherhood I like, and they like me. You know what I'm saying? I like them and stuff like that, but that was 2009. That was when I was 19.
So you don't do all that anymore?
anymore. I just came out here kicking it, man, and just found a certain section of certain place, and I liked them. You know what I'm saying? They liked me, and then they was just like, "Come kick it," and I just been kicking it ever since. You know, and fortunately for me, it didn't mess up anything. So you know, them my bros, them my guys. I'll be out there hanging out.
So they never sent you on a mission or anything?
What's the mission?
Gotta go do something for them? Pick up a cake or something?
Did we pick up cakes? I don't know, bro.
Really any groceries?
Yeah, I eat healthy, man. So I eat real healthy these days. I'm 280, man. I gotta kind of slack on that. But yeah, I mean, it was 2009. I came out kicking it and stuff like that, and you know. But like I said, I was 19, and on top of that, my whole family from LA. That's the funniest part about it. Like my family from Watts and then from other parts of South Central. So that was the funniest part about all this BS. And they think I'm older than what I am. I just turned 34. Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about? So, you know.
You have that. I mean, dreadlocks, I guess, can make you look a little older, right?
And a beard, too.
Yeah, and a beard. Definitely a beard.
Once it started coming in, and I started getting, like, the brides who had a fetish for that, it was cool.
Really? So you felt that? Like, oh, like, they really like the beard.
Beard equipped with the dreads. I don't know why that's a thing, but it just became a thing. Like because I used to always rock braids, and sometimes I would, because it's called 2-strand twisties. And I used to, when I was doing like my pickup artist phase and shit like that.
Oh, you had a pickup artist phase?
Hell yeah.
I should have known some of those up when you were talking about I went to the bar to meet bitches.
Yeah, hey, bro, that night though, me and my homie Mike, shout out Mike, Big Mike, man, we got like some hood ass white bitches, and we were at R&15 bar. This was funny because that's where all this shit was at. R&15 is a whole bar. Like, that's not a hood, by the way. Beast, you stupid dude. Like, you should probably Google the spaces that you looking at.
What up, Flacco?
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, man.
Hey, listen, man.
Biggest gangster ever, man.
Me, nah.
Hey, what Crip set is he from?
Huh?
What Crip set is
I'm
he
not from no Crip set, man.
He's from 60s, right? Yeah, he wouldn't tell me. I didn't want to put it on him, but I figured you could do it. Okay, but who is your pickup artist guru?
Matador.
I don't know. That's not
So
like
you get mystery, and then you get...
I watched this TV show.
Yeah, and then you get style. I didn't even know about style. But, like, bro, I swear, it was cold. I had a thing called the Nash effect, bro.
What's that?
The Nash effect is essentially the game plan that you run. So you get these certain levels of comfortability that you, because a woman ain't gonna fuck you, she ain't comfortable.
Right.
You know, a lot of guys don't know this stuff. And when you have to get out there in the field, you got to crash and burn. So since I'm a taller guy and stuff like that, and I was in far more better shape than I was then. I mean, I was better shape then than I am now because I ain't in shape for shit right now. But what happened is you go out there and you fail. So a lot of guys pay attention to this. You have to approach women sideways, right? So as I'm right here, like how you're doing right now, that's a little more comfortable.
This is good.
Yeah. But you talk.
I noticed myself doing that too much, and I'm like, no, I have to like face them more.
But you probably realize like, when I'm like, how I'm right here, and then I do like this, you see how much the difference
It's
in
a
the
lot
body?
more defiant.
Exactly.
It's like I ain't really fucking with you the whole way.
Exactly, because when you meet a bride, she wonder, what the fuck do you want? What are you doing?
Right.
And then learn that shit. I learned how to approach her sideways, kind of body rock, like, you know, do stuff like that. And then you run your game, for lack of better words. You bring up something wild, like, oh, did you see the fucking fight outside? Hey, do you believe in spells? You're like, hey, but what you do is you say real quick. You open it with, hey, real quick. And then boom, you say what you're gonna say. You just really wanting to get them to open their mouth.
I remember so many of these things from reading about pickup artist shit back in the day. Like, do you see that crazy fight outside? Oh,
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, I don't. Like,
They were fighting over a guy named Mortimer or some shit like
yeah,
that.
do you do magic tricks?
Yeah.
No, see.
No. I came in. This is the crazy part. I came in there peaking. I was the only black dude in there with a cowboy and the clubs and shit, so I was cool.
You were the cowboy hat guy.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's when I really realized the pickup artist shit was burnt out, was when I realized that it was like suggesting you needed like a sequin cowboy hat to make yourself stand out so you could peacock appropriately.
But it's still a thing, though. That's the funnier part about it. A lot of peacocking now is done with the ostentatious gear that cats wear.
Right.
So you're wearing something more expensive now. We're actually paying attention to brands more now than ever. So what happened is now you got your diamonds and all that shit and everything like that. More people can now afford chains because everybody's scamming these days. Now you're wearing these shoes that are supposed to be vintage, but they're really not vintage. They're just out there, and this is the new wave. Like, remember when the red 12s came out, the suede red 12s?
Not really, but-
Everybody had them. These red Jordans came out, and every fucking body had them. You seen like 6 pairs, and the resales and stuff like that. So that's essentially what peacocking has turned into. Pickup still works today, because I did it on this dating show, but I created this thing called the fighter test, right? So what I do is I have a woman, I say, put your hand like this, right? Mm-hmm. And the fucking answer doesn't matter. And anybody watching this, you can literally run this shit on a female. You can do it, right? Hey, let me do this test on you real quick. And what you do is you just speak truisms. That's all you're doing. So I do is have them put their hand like this. Matter of fact, I'll do it on you. Put your hand like this, right? All right. Now what I'm gonna have you do is you're gonna open your hand, but don't do it yet, right? You're going to either open it like this or open it like this. Mm-hmm. Which one do you choose? Okay. So typically what that means, and then I'll grab her hand and I'll be like, typically what that means, because that's kinesthetics, that's Keno right there, Keno escalation. You remember that, right?
Okay.
So I'll go,
The reason to touch her hand, yeah.
Exactly. Nice shit. So
how many girls you fucked? What's the number?
I can't give you that number, Adam. Man, I'm still trying to put on. I'm trying to.
That's smart.
Like I'm a nice, nice guy with a low number.
You on Tinder?
Nah.
You're not on any of those apps?
I should be, right?
All IRL game?
What the hell is that?
In real life?
Oh, that's enough. I like that. Yeah, I had to. I mean, shit, I got a good amount of following on Instagram, so I don't really have to do too much.
I wish I was like at 0 in life.
Really?
Because I would get it through women, I think, is how I would rebuild myself. You just got to find a girl who got the right willingness to accommodate you.
Go further.
You can get far in life. If I was at 0 right now, I just need a bitch who's gonna believe in me. We're gonna be staying in your crib. We're gonna be making content together. We're gonna be doing like all I need is a girl, and I'm good. And I miss the old days when I had a variety. Now
can you do it? Do you need to be younger?
Now I have one. Huh?
You had to be younger? Or
I just didn't understand that as a young dude who don't have anything going on, you just need a girl.
True indeed.
And then you could figure your whole life out from there.
Yeah,
and then maybe at some point you could level up to a different girl.
So then I had to ask it to you this way: what is this chapter in Adam 22's life called?
Running a legal business and not
fucking it off.
Trying to have a healthy relationship with a woman.
Nice.
Being a family man.
And you got a daughter too.
Being an old family man. I know.
That's dope, right?
I started this 8 years ago, really like almost 10 years ago, because I started the BMX shit like a year and a half before I started the podcast things. I've just been talking to people for 10 years.
But you make, good change and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So to finish it, we just did what's called multiple threading, by the way. We jump into different topics and stuff like that. You keep the conversation fresh. I used to be on this stuff, man.
It's like you got all the little tabs at the top of the window.
Yeah, you had to.
Xing them out.
Man, I was going out like 5 nights out of 7, getting trashed. Like just getting fucked up. I'd wasted my money. I remember I had a girl was like, where all your money go? And I had to think like, damn, bitch, I truly don't know. I had to look at a bar tab on top.
But I always feel like if you're going out and really trying to run game and really try to meet girls, you can't really be getting super drunk, right? Because you become an idiot who doesn't remember any of the stuff that you learned about how to talk to women, right?
Depends on if you let it start to get up there.
Right.
Once you start to let it get up there, because you had to have a pack. Like we literally had a group called the Brotherhood, and that's what we did. Like we used to go in there like maybe 5 thick, 6 thick, and go in there, and we do this thing called create a scene. And so now we're the people to talk about, and the girls gonna, who are you guys? All this stuff. You get to snatch a girl in there real quick, dance with her, ship her off, and stuff like that. And for the most part, I mean, we're not doing a Terpsichorean triumph, but we got somebody who's going to just go there and dance and shit like that, because everybody can't be doing every goddamn thing. So, it's just those things when you walk in, like a lot of guys don't notice. If you're not that guy, get $50 and tip the goddamn security guy. Wait for the club to literally get a line out there and walk past and kind of eyeballs people like, hey, what's going on, bro? Good night, good night. You do that, and then you go to the front of the line and you tip that damn security guard and you get in there, they're going to wonder, who the fuck are you? And then once you do that, all you have to do is open your mouth and just talk to people. The first couple of people you see, talk to them. That'll get your social anxiety down. You get your social anxiety down, then you're good. Then you can run. Like I said, with this right here, this means that you're the person that people call when they need help. You're the first person. You're typically that person. Hey, 11 a.m. Adam, man, I need some help, bro. You think you can help me out? Would you agree with that?
Right. Nobody asked me for help.
They don't ask you for help?
They all know I'm too busy. I don't have any ability to help.
So I could have sworn I seen some stories of you helping some people out to get them out of a jam because out of your own mouth, you said, well, I needed that person.
There's a short list.
Yeah, but they knew to call you. And if you give a damn about them, will you help?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll probably have one of my employees help them out.
But still, it's still in the name of Adam,
Yeah.
But that's just a truism. That's all it is.
Right.
If you were to do like this, I would say you typically tend to be a fighter. So when you was on your big 22-stick run and stuff like that, that's what you were doing. I would have used that right there. But it's nothing but truisms.
I still have that.
I would hope so.
I'm still big 22.
I gotta ask you because I hit you twice with it. And you ain't really say nothing. You just liked it.
What?
Would you do hot ones?
Would I do it now after my recent encounter with Sean Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Not even in particular for that one, but, like, dude asked some dope-ass questions. I'm pretty sure you watched it a couple of times.
That's one thing that she told me is that I assumed that he had like a big-ass writing team putting together all the questions on Hot Ones, right?
Right.
It's just him studying and writing questions. And that's what's interesting about it is that like everything I say on this podcast, none of it's scripted. Even my notes that I write down are just like one word or like a sentence at most. But he'll write like a whole big-ass paragraph.
Right.
That's very eloquent and when it comes together very nicely with the editing and everything like that. But she did say that like his whole life is basically just writing and researching for who he's going to interview on there, which is pretty interesting to me.
It is, but shit.
Would I go on there just on the basis of like, would I eat a bunch of spicy wings?
That's what I'm talking
about. I don't
about.
give a fuck. Sure. Yeah.
You would do that?
I'm not scared of that shit.
Yeah, I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie.
You don't like spicy food?
I can't do it, bro. I cannot. I can't do spicy food.
Maybe I don't know how bad it would actually be. Like maybe they're worse than I'm imagining.
Right.
Maybe I've never even had wings that are as bad as it gets on there, but I don't know. I just feel like because it's a TV show and shit that they're not going to give you something that's going to like have you fucking vomiting and shit. I feel like it can't be that bad.
You got a point. I didn't think about that.
Because I don't really see people freaking out that bad on the show that much. That's like one of the reasons I stopped watching it. It doesn't really feel like most people are really like affected by. It doesn't seem like they're spicy enough. Huh. But maybe I just don't watch it enough. I can't remember the last time I watched an episode.
I ain't watched it in a while. Do you think you ruined that relationship?
I just interviewed her and she basically said that there's at least some level of animosity towards me because he unfollowed me. But she basically said that he never mentioned me and it was definitely going to happen anyway. Because keep in mind, like, even before I said anything about it, there was tweets with 50,000 likes about them dating.
Yeah, but you were a face.
Right. I'm an easy like person to like, and I obviously knew what I was doing, throwing myself in the mix. But it's like, it already was going to be pretty rough for him in terms of like how much shit he was going to have to hear about his girlfriend. So
that's wild, bro. I'll be honest with you.
And she made it clear too that he hadn't even like looked her, like according to what he said to her, he hadn't like looked up her porn or anything.
Oh.
It's not like he went out of his way to see every single thing she ever did. Because if he did, I mean, seeing the love of your life with the big fat cock against her face, seeing her lick the hairy butthole.
She's eating booty?
I mean, I don't even know. But I mean, probably like if she's really doing her thing in this game.
I mean, to each their own. I don't.
You could say like, I'm cool with my girl having OnlyFans. Oh yeah? Well, you cool with seeing her lick a hairy asshole? It's a little different once you get down to the details. The truth is in the details.
Yeah, I don't want to see them details. That's funny though, but
A lot of details.
To each their own. I don't know. I don't run like, I don't want to say porn content. I don't run sexuality content on my shit because I truly just don't give a fuck. Like whatever.
As soon as I saw them in a relationship or whatever, I didn't think it was serious, and then B, I was like, well, if that is serious, that's not going to work.
Well, how long were they together?
There's no way he's going to be able to handle that. They were hanging out for like months, like a couple months before it became a public thing. But they were in Chicago, white people hanging out in Chicago.
It has a lot of white people in Chicago.
Didn't even know, had no idea. But it turns out they're out there too. It's not just O-Block.
Nah. Shout out to Durkee. Shout out my guy Durkee,
I'm
man.
just kidding. I spent a lot of time in Chicago, not anywhere near the hood. So
I mean, it's not all hood. Like
I've done that part too, but for the most part, most of the time I've been in Chicago has been doing like normal person shit.
Well, think about it like this: they're allowing that shit to happen, 100%.
The government?
Yeah, because think about it this way: where do the White Sox play?
I don't know.
They play in the South Side of Chicago.
Right.
Think about USC; it's smack dab in the hood.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They about to move to Clipper Stadium. They about to move to Inglewood. This stuff they allow it all the time, and for the most part, once you start to realize it, you just kind of realize how poisonous a hood is actually set up. They're typically by freeways. Those freeways, they have a lot of pollution. That pollution does what? It gives you shit that happens with your lungs. A lot of asthma, a lot of breathing problems. A lot of this shit happens, and it's directly in the hood. You had a whole entire section like of Detroit, a whole entire thing of St. Louis, where that arch was. That was actually a black neighborhood. That was a whole entire black populated neighborhood. You had Detroit Black Bottom. That right there was an accumulated amount of people with a good sense of wealth that put a damn freeway through there. You go to Central Park in New York. That was a black neighborhood. They never tell you these things because if they do, you might go, damn, that's pretty messed up. Then somebody might rise up, for lack of better words, to actually do something. And if they do that with the people, then you can allocate the funds. But a lot of people don't want to do that because they get fixated on the quote unquote puppet of the damn president, not realizing that, oh man, my governor's the one who actually controls shit in my life. When I get on Instagram and stuff like that, and I talk about stuff like this, they get silent because they go, oh, Joe Biden, he's sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Well, let me ask you, what the hell does a dollar do in Ukraine? So we're sending shit over there that costs this amount. But
do you know 80% of the weapons that we've provided to them are old weapons that we don't use anymore?
Yeah.
So when people tell you like the dollar amount that we've sent to Ukraine, it's kind of like, well,
they don't know. But
it's not entirely accurate, but
let's do it this way. Disproportionately in war, they're going to send the black people out there any fucking ways. So would you rather us have the Ukrainians fight the Russians, who we always thought were these super ops that can destroy us, or would you rather have the Ukrainians fight the war for us? It's like getting your little homie to run the fade for you and you ain't got to do nothing, and all he going to do is whoop him down just in case it get bad. We had to do something as far as provide for Ukraine. Now, what ends up happening is, and this is where Joe Biden is one of the worst presidents, is we're now one of the main exporters of oil. He's not as green as he may seem as far as what he's doing. So we're one of the main exporters. We're using up our reserves more. They don't pay attention to this. So when I hear these people talk, I'm like, y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Go look up what the feds sent your governor last year.
But from my perspective, you're acting like the cops don't want to solve all these murders and shit. It feels like they're actually pretty aggressively policing people and like really trying to solve these murders, right? It's difficult to solve murders. People beat them all the fucking time. I mean, I don't know. Like, why would they not want to solve murders? They're judged pretty harshly based on the number of murders that they don't solve.
So, you ever heard of the blue flu?
No.
The blue flu is when the cops would call in on certain days. Go look up every single Memorial Day, 4th of July, how many cops call in sick. Mm-hmm. When you know this is the most violent time of the year, what it does is it allows more funding for them. Think of this. How many jobs have been provided just because of gangs? So when you look at it this way, we got parole officers, probation officers, we got gang units, we got investigators, we got cops, and then we have a slew of prosecutors. They got to fund this somehow. They used to have a building on the Gold Coast in goddamn Chicago where they used to abduct people. They used to take them there, hold them 48 hours, 72 hours, and question them about a whole bunch of stuff. They shut that down. That's the stuff they don't tell you. So, like, there's going to be people who react to, so the Nash don't be in Chicago. Oh, shit, he mentioned the warehouse on Gold Coast that the police used to take us and beat our ass. Oh, shit, he do be out here. So you'll get those things where they're actively doing this to stay in power, because if we have a need for the police to do certain things, then you're going to say, well, look, they just robbed these guys. They just shot these guys. They just did this. But it's amazing how when the police show up, everybody stop doing crimes.
But would you say that it's not like they could stop all the gangs and the murders in Chicago if they wanted to.
Yeah,
The problem is out of control.
No.
What are they going to do to stop it?
It's easy. What you do is you learn how to, one, get active in the community. And I literally talked to a cop about this shit when I was in Wyoming on a flat tire and shit like this. And what ended up happening is we had a conversation literally about this. I said, if y'all start coming around in plain clothes like y'all used to, and these gyms and everything, and y'all start integrating like Tommy Norman in Little Rock, Arkansas, who literally will go to these hoods, provide juice, candy, all these things, supplies and all this stuff to the lower income housings and stuff like that. What happened is every time I see you, I'm not pissed off at you for taking somebody from me. See, every time I see the police officer, he's taking somebody I love. You may see him as a murderer, as a drug dealer, as a person who does all these crimes, these illicit activities. I see this person as my fighter, my protector, my provider, the person who is the most sagacious male that I met in my life. So you get these things that happen. But what happens if you'll have a conversation with me about what they did that was so wrong? And on top of that, there's no safe place to go to. What happens with the youth committing crimes? The youth commit crimes from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. because that's when they're out of school. Where's the after school programs? Where's all of these things that could actually help out? You need kids to be able to do stuff. When a boy is sitting there and his legs is just going and he has all this pent up energy, he needs to do something. This is why sports is so prevalent. They don't tell you in Chicago, they got a lot of dope ass basketball players. You'd be surprised how many NBA players and overseas players are fresh out of Chicago. Just that city in particular that has over 5 million people, but they'll paint you this picture that the blacks there don't care. But you got the Guardians. You got these OGs who have legal license to carry, and they walk kids to school every single day. You have actual protests that go on in Chicago. You have actual bands. You have actual marching. You have Stop the Violence and stuff like that. You have Father Flager out there, the Catholic goddamn priest out there preaching, trying to get us to help. You got Minister Louis Farrakhan out there. These are actual staples that are trying to help. But if I don't give them that much spotlight, then that's what's going to happen. See, what they could do is they could literally start to fund for the next goddamn group. This is when they were saying defund the police. What they were talking about is reallocate the funds. You just had in Memphis, the police department get $50 million to help out the neighborhoods. What the fuck is the police going to do with that?
Right.
They're just going to sit up there and strap up and do all this shit. If you ever been to Memphis, the roads in there are eroded. It's terrible. You know, there's nothing to do there. You only have Bill Street for certain things for people to do, and then you have outside shit like Germantown and everything. But for the most part, even where the crimes are happening there, they're all in a certain section. Why are they in a certain section? If Memphis was that bad, Bill Street should be shot up every single goddamn day.
But it's not that Memphis is bad. It's that certain neighborhoods are bad, right?
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's concentrated violence. Where there's the most poverty-stricken areas, that's where the violence occurs. Every single time. So if they took a chance on these kids and start giving real programs, where are the computers to sit these kids at and teach them certain things?
I think the thing is that even if you gave those kids computers and more education and more activities and stuff, the family units being so fucked and like the culture in general in terms of like what's respected and appreciated and stuff would probably still stand in the way of a lot of those kids becoming successful or being able to like leave the neighborhood.
Actually not. What you see every Saturday is a bunch of kids dressed up in football gear. But what about that kid who can't run fast? Can we get him on a baseball program? Baseball players make a shit ton of money. In the 90s, baseball was number one. Everybody was able to play, but it's expensive as hell.
Pro sports and music and entertainment are not going to fix
No,
what's wrong.
but it's a start for little boys. You got to remember, little boys learn because they're energetic as hell. We can't sit these little young men out to do the shit that the little girls are doing. The little girls pay attention more attention to details. The success rate of a little girl versus a little boy in the hood are goddamn miles away. When they talk about the reading levels, they're talking about the boys. They're not talking about the girls. So you have to figure out another way in which to teach the boys because they got a lot of pent up energy. They don't know what the fuck to do with it. They don't know when puberty hits what the fuck to do or anything like that. It's those things, but people haven't taken the time out. And I would even challenge the religious institutions to do that. When people come out of the jail or prison, typically what they do in the hood is they go straight to church. They go straight to mosque. Where the fuck are the programs for them to become truckers or electricians and all this shit? When somebody really wants to change, they need an opportunity to change. But they go to these things and it's, oh, praise Allah, praise Jesus, praise, all of these things. But hey, while I'm in this house of prayer, the devil outside my door. It's only so long I can stop him from doing this.
But most of these districts are like super underfunded. So it feels like, these are the same places that have almost no money for their schools. So the idea of them having tons of money for programs for convicts and shit, it just seems like kind of a stretch.
It's not a ton of money though. That's the funniest part about it. When you look at the homeless problem in LA, right? It'll start off as building some housing units for $150,000, right?
And they've put so much money into building housing units for the homeless in LA, and they have made like no fucking progress.
You want to know why?
It's unbelievably corrupt and just fucked.
You know why, right?
Why?
Because of how many people is needed to approve all of this. That unit goes from $150,000 to $400,000 just to do this one.
And nobody wants it in their neighborhood.
Exactly. So now you have the task of getting it done, but now it requires more funding. And what do? Kick the shit right down. Kick the can down the road. It's these things that they're not doing, but they're not doing it on purpose. Like where I was born, I was born in Sacramento, California.
But do you not agree that at the end of the day, the government, we all know the government sucks at getting shit done. It's on the people themselves, not the stuff that's really like supplied to them by the government and stuff, right? If anything's going to fix these low income neighborhoods, it's going to have to be the people really like coming together and rising up, right? It's not going to be like the government does something for them and then all of a sudden everything's better.
It's holding your leaders to task.
Exactly, but who are the leaders?
So the leaders are your mayors. Your leaders are your district, your goddamn district. I can't think of the damn thing right now.
There's all the employees of the city, right?
No, you have your council. So you have your district councilman. That's the person right there. If you don't know your district councilman, that's a problem. Because who's supposed to fix this pothole in your goddamn street? Y'all actually have a budget in your city that allocates funds for certain things. Look at how expensive the goddamn police are. Out here, I think it's $2 billion. That's the LAPD. You don't think that we couldn't take $500 million of that and allocate it to certain things that would stop a lot of shit before it started? If I can keep you busy and I can keep you doing certain things, you'll start to believe in yourself. The problem is the confidence, the competency of education is failing the fuck out of us.
And all the education in the world is not going to change the fact that the parents aren't giving these kids like a worldview that is going to even allow them to succeed in many cases. That's just how I see it. But anyway, I wanted to ask you about what is this thing lately with No Love and him coming at you? Because
who's No Love?
Fucking Finesse 2 Times brother, right?
Oh, he came at me?
You didn't see that?
Nah.
Oh, I feel bad interrupting for that, Ben.
For real?
Yeah, he's like looking at you in the fucking video and dissing you. You didn't see this? How the fuck are you online so much and you didn't see this?
I didn't see it.
Really?
Let me see. I'll react in real time.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find like a clip that fully...
But he can shut his bitch ass up. I ain't worried about it. You and your hoe ass brother. Y'all know what time it is.
Do you know him or anything?
I have no idea. I didn't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, No Love. What the fuck? You a virgin or something?
Hopefully I'm not fucking it up, but damn. I can't even find it right now, so I guess I'm not going to be able to be of any luck. But I seen a clip of him fucking reacting to you.
And he was talking about, is it like get your wrist game up and all that shit?
I think so.
Man, first off, I don't rock jewelry. So, bitch, why the fuck would I get my wrist game up? I don't wear jewelry. It does nothing for me. I'm not about to sit up here with shiny metal and shit like that and think that makes me somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing anybody when I say this, but... Man, fuck him, bro. Hey, look.
I can't even find it, so shout out to whoever's going to be able to, like,
I ain't worried about it.
Me or...
I ain't worried about it. Well, you know what it is? You know the truth, though? I know the two people that said that Finesse 2 Times told on them. And when I was last up here, I said, hey, bro, I'm going to wait until I see the paperwork before I come out and diss your bitch ass. And now that the paperwork is out, I can diss Finesse 2 Times bitch ass. And how your brother is about to lose his fucking clothing business that he stole from a cat out of goddamn Cleveland, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah, the whole Finesse, the back end brand, that's not his.
Really?
And the lawyer that wrote the contract went to fucking jail.
Holy shit.
So when Finesse is talking that little weird ass shit and how you grooming this little kid to smack strippers' asses in fucking clubs and shit, like, man, fuck you. And in real life, I smack the shit out of you and your brother. Real life, I will smack the fuck out you. I don't do the tough guy shit on the internet no more because I don't care to be tough anymore on the internet. That does nothing for me. But as far as your city, I done walked through Memphis plenty times live stream. Plenty times. Ain't been touched yet. I'm not saying come do something to me and all that shit, but you or your brother, when you bitch ass motherfuckers just fake headlocking, oh man, I ain't worried about that whole ass shit, bro. That bitch ass bitches gonna do what bitch ass bitches do. It just is what it is. But as far as no love, hey, bro, listen, check me out. In real life, bro, I'm not that dude you want to play with. Go play with yourself. Go play with your kids. Go play with the little kid that's playing with asses in the strip club and shit like that. That y'all should be in jail for grooming a goddamn kid. But it is what it is.
All right, how old does a boy have to be before he can smack asses in the strip club?
18.
18.
You gotta, at some point in time, we do have to allow a kid to be a kid.
What if, let's say, your cousin is 16 and he's like the new soldier boy? He's like the flyest young Gucci backpack, no shirt on, chain, you're shooting a video. He wants to smack some asses in the video.
So
it's too much when he's 16?
No, well, here's the thing. It's a morality thing. I'm from California. So my thing is 18. But the majority of states, the age of consent is 16. You can go look it up.
But it doesn't feel like anyone gives a shit about that. It feels like the national morality age of consent is 18, even if technically
but the laws
it's 16,
are
right.
the literal laws are 16. It's 38
But it doesn't feel like
states.
that would save you at all when it comes to like Twitter judging you, right?
No, because think about it this way. What's cuz name?
Lil
Seinfeld.
RT?
Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld.
He was dating a 17-year-old.
But the age of consent in New York is 17.
I remember this.
So what are we talking about? It's just a morality thing. I'm from Cali. 18. But that's what it is. But I know, because I have a place in Georgia, the age of consent is 16. I know cats right now, I was like, I was 25 years old, and I married my 16-year-old wife. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? But, hey.
Like in recent memory?
Yeah.
Damn, see, I feel like that you just are going to get destroyed on social media for that, regardless of if it's legal.
I don't care. I don't think it's right. But by law, they're not doing anything wrong, and he met the parents. I'm like, nah, bro, nah, hell nah. Nah, they want to clip that part out and be like, Ceddy Nash is, nah, bro. What I'm saying is that it's a morality thing. It's a California thing.
So Boosie getting his 14-year-old.
I don't like it. I hated that shit. Bro,
He got him some top. He got a stripper to suck his dick, allegedly.
But
14 is hell no.
Nah, bro, nah, that's foul. But we have a scarcity of I gotta say it the right way. The LGBTQIA plus community pushing whatever they pushing to convert your
Do you
child.
have kids?
Yeah.
How many?
Quattro.
How old?
Teenagers.
At what age would you take your kid to the strip club with you?
18.
Assuming that was just something that you would do. If you got an 18-year-old daughter, you would let her just be in the strip club, just chilling in your section on her phone?
I'm not taking my daughters to no goddamn strip club. Hell no. But, I'll pick her up, because at a certain point in time, you got to learn that you don't raise your kids, that you actually grow them. You grow your kid into whatever they're going to be. You got an idea of what your daughter is going to be when she gets older. So it's on you to put certain obstacles in her way for her to accomplish them to get her confidence up. So you got to test her competency if she really wants to do this. Your daughter may say, I don't know.
It's got to be weird having your kid know that you go to the strip club.
I don't really go to strip club though.
I don't either.
I don't like to be teased
It would
like
just
that.
be weird to like have like a grown ass kid or like a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid who's just like looking at you, knowing that that's what you do. And it just feels like it would be hard for them to understand that like this is not necessarily like the most debaucherous place on earth. It's kind of just like a bar where there's some chicks dancing.
But it's kind of messed up because one of the biggest lies that spread in the hood is that, I can't really say the P word, but that kids is getting touched in the hood and they cool with that. It's a lot of cats in every hood that done mess with some young ass bras. My grandma was 15 when she got married to a 37-year-old man.
Jesus.
Who popped in 8 kids in her.
To be fair, that was probably like extremely common back in the day when
she was born in the 40s. She's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then they came out to California during the rush the SoCal rush, as they like to put it. But
That's why it's weird with that thing like the Jerry Seinfeld thing, because that was like a thing at the time, but it wasn't that big of a thing. And
you know why?
And even Tyga, people talked about it, him and Kylie dating, but it wasn't like everybody was, it was discussed on Twitter, but it wasn't like the way it would be now, where it would be like the only thing that they talked about.
I don't think so, because money allows people to muddy it up a little bit.
But this was, what was it, 2012, 2013, 14, some shit like that, when Tyga was hanging out with her?
Yeah.
Felt like that, yes, that was like 10 years ago. That was like a million years ago in terms of like how people communicate online.
We're in a microwave society. But I just, for me, the money allows it to muddy it up, because you seen them on a jet. Who paid for that jet? Tyga ain't got no goddamn money. She paid for that jet. So it's like she's paying for this older cat to be doing all of these things and stuff like that. And then, unfortunately, we're in California. So the morality of California is different, because, yeah, we had an 18 stuff, but then we have like an influx of Hispanics here, more Mexicans. When you had a quinceañera. Well, in Mexico, right? 15 years old, that's when you're a woman. You get what I'm saying? So it's muddy because, once again, it's a lot of money that allow you to do so many things. Think of like a 14-year-old millionaire getting tattoos. What the hell can you tell them?
Right.
You can't say, hey, you're going to mess your life up. Bitch, I got money. A 14-year-old millionaire getting somebody pregnant or getting pregnant. Look at the Cash Me Outside girl. She was like 15, messing with young boy, right?
Or like, okay, I wouldn't let my 16-year-old son smoke weed. Yeah. But many times throughout my time running No Jumper, I've been around some 16-year-old kids who are rolling blunts. And then this is, they were raised that way. Like, this is nothing to them. Like, what the fuck am I going to tell them? Oh, you need to wait a couple years because of what I think is normal? I mean, shit.
See, when I did security for the EBK cats in Stockton like years ago, when they was freshly like 18 and stuff like that, they had some younger cats and stuff like that, and I would tell them, hey, bro, y'all gotta, or that's gonna shut it down. But what I would do is I would tell them it's gonna mess your money up. Hey, bro, if you had this youngin' in here, police gonna come, they gonna shut this down. You guys ain't gonna be invited anywhere else. Do you want to mess your money up? You had to give these, I'm pretty sure you do this with your child all the time. You had to give them the false equivalency of choice. All right, you can do this, cool. But if you do this, you're going to mess your money up. Or do you want your money to keep on going and then y'all can just do this when y'all leave? If you do this, cool. So I'm going to give you the false option. You want your money. All right, boom. So you going to play with your money. And that's exactly how you do it.
My girl taught me that. I don't say, what do you want to wear? I say, do you want to wear the purple dress or the white dress?
Yep. And then, I don't want to eat my food. Do you want to go to bed or do you want to eat your food? Which one do you want to do? All right, I eat my food.
I got to like reflexively remember to say that shit more.
It's difficult, especially with girls, bro. Like,
what was this altercation you had with Hurricane Chris? Tell me about it.
He just a hating ass bitch. That's all. And I don't.
He killed someone.
I don't give a fuck. Never mind.
I saw him on Vlad tell the whole story.
Oh man, listen.
It was a good story.
It's the second body that count. I don't give a fuck about, man. I know
Lord.
cats that done fucking had a seizure behind the wheel and killed somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't matter. And you shot running away.
I'll be get the teardrop tattoo right away.
Nah, you got it. Two count.
Seizure body.
One don't matter. One don't.
Where'd you run into Hurricane Chris?
I ain't run into him because it would have been a real problem. Nah, I ain't running into him. He just hopped on. He been hopping on my YouTube doing lame ass shit, hating on the comments. You don't know what you're talking about. This. You a goofy and all this shit. In real life, you a bitch. I will dip you on your hairline, bro. Like, knock it the fuck out. You killed somebody running away, shooting in the air damn near. So doing like this and catching a body, it's accidental. That's cool. But you was on there crying like a little bitch. Because you knew. Shreveport is really up there. So I don't give a fuck. Probably stand bullshit. I mean, yeah, bullshit anyways. But nah, he just been doing lame ass shit hating. And for the most part, whenever a rapper jump in my inbox and start doing lame ass shit, I never expose that conversation to the world. I still have to live under a certain code where there's certain things I cannot do. So I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, Hurricane Chris jumped in my inbox. Here's a screenshot of him acting like a bitch. I'm not going to do that. I'm not telling other people.
I agree with that. And it seems like very few people agree with that now, is that in general, exposing a private conversation is off limits unless you've declared war. Like, if we're on good terms,
Right.
I'm never going to expose something that you say to me publicly. Now, if we fucking hate each other, I guess I'll do that. But that's not, if we're cool, we don't expose.
I still wouldn't do that.
And I won't even, if you say something to me, I won't say it publicly unless I have your permission.
Right.
Even like me and Vlad, we have that. He interviewed somebody recently. He knew something about them because I told him. And he asked me, can I bring this up in the interview? And I said, I would really rather if you didn't.
Yeah, but
That to me, that's like civilized how you should interact with people you're cool with.
yeah, you should, because if I did it in private, keep it in private.
Right.
But he did this shit publicly. So if you come after me publicly, now I get to eviscerate your monkey ass motherfucking publicly. And so I just told him, keep my name out your snake ass mouth. You are a hoe. You done did whole shit to a bunch of rappers based off your little 2-song run. All right, cool. First off, you ain't never been a face of Louisiana ever in your fucking life. They're not gonna let somebody up north even be a face of Louisiana like that. You're gonna run into cats from Lake Charles and Alexandria and Bogalusa or other places, bro. Like it's typically New Orleans and Baton Rouge. That's it. But you even got places, Gonzales and all these other places that's really gangster. And I'm not saying Shreveport ain't gangster and they ain't thugging like that, because they actually are. But as far as his monkey ass dance songs and all that whole ass shit, bruh, don't talk that gangster shit with me. Don't talk about how I'm a goofy and I don't know shit about the music industry. Bitch, you don't know who the fuck I know. You could just go to my Instagram and see the amount of rappers that follow me, the music executives that follow me. The reason I took the blue flag off my face was because a high, I don't want to say ranking, but a person in a high place in the music industry literally told me, if you don't do this, you're going to pigeonhole yourself. You will not expand. You got to switch this up. So, yeah, fuck all that shit. But he's a bitch. Fuck him. That shit lame as hell what he did. Like, oh, you don't know shit. You're a goofy. You don't even be, bro, I be everywhere I say I am. Okay. Every fucking one.
One thing you just said, this is interesting. You said the thing about the blue rag. I guess I kind of agreed that in general, if you're doing all your videos with a blue rag over your face, you're basically like putting yourself into such like a gangster category that it's probably going to like close doors for you and stuff. But Wack has said that to me a few times. Tell Brig Baby to stop saying on 6-0 or on rolling, etc. when he's podcasting, because in a way that like, you're taking the gangster shit too far into the podcasting stuff. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that that's just, if that's how you talk, that's how you should just keep talking once you get on the mic?
Well, the problem with it is, I get where Wack is coming from. That would have worked in the beginning, but that's a part of Brick's brand.
Right.
So when you're going back years and years, this is his common vernacular. It actually works for him though.
Right.
So in a sense, Wack would be right in the inception, but now we years into it. This man is a whole entire algorithm. So but once again, I can see where he's coming from.
It's never too late to just start rocking a suit and just say, hey, I ain't a gangster no more. I'm just a commentator. I'm a preacher. I'm whatever you want to be. You could always switch it up. But if you're going to switch it up, you got to go the whole way.
Can't do it now, though.
You can never diss another op, and you got to wear a suit.
But he has to be older. You had to have the grays. You had to have the sagacity for it. You had to be the wisdom person. You essentially got to be a sage now.
I'm not saying there's any chance of Brick Baby doing this sort of heel turn, but I'm just saying in general, I feel like people sometimes in the commentary space or the podcast space, YouTube space, they discount the possibility of you just completely changing shit up and just doing shit completely different.
Yeah, eventually you have to
recreate yourself. If I started wearing a suit and I stopped smoking weed on camera and I stopped talking about fucking, give it a couple years, people are going to view me differently.
Yeah, but you had to create another brand, though.
Yeah.
You had to create something outside of No Jumper, because when people are coming for No Jumper, they're coming for rap news, a little ratchetness, these things.
Right.
So when they coming for Brick, it's the street aspect of it. Even if Brick wanted to, which I don't know, I ain't talked about it. Like, I'm gonna support Brick and everything that he do, but at the same time, this is a part of his brand. So once again, I get where Wack is coming from, but at the same time, this is so ingratiated within Brick, his persona online and who he is as a person, that it just ain't gonna work, because there is this fascination with what he's saying. It is a fascination with the tattoos. It is a fascination with South Central Los Angeles. It is a fascination with, him being the face of certain things. So that may be why they are here. You know what I'm saying? That it's captivating to some.
I have 11 minutes before I have to dip. I want to ask you this because I have not talked about this on camera. How did you feel seeing AD getting manhandled outside the club in San Diego?
So,
And there was a lot of back and forth. I just want to lay you behind the curtain.
what do you mean?
When we were doing the no jumper post,
Uh-huh.
I'm going back and forth like,
You going back and forth with AD?
no.
Oh,
we were
all right.
talking to the team about how we were going to title it. Former no jumper host AD. We landed on attacked.
Yeah.
But we considered beat up and we considered manhandled.
What did you ultimately go
Ultimately, we went with attacked.
with? That's
And even that felt a little like aggressive, like, you know, like we
I probably put altercation.
we could have said gotten an altercation.
Yeah.
But it felt like, at least from that clip, it was a little too one-sided for us to just say altercation. Like, it was a little like too nice.
Well, allegedly,
Right.
and I don't know because I ain't seen it, but
He went on Academics to stream and spoke on it with OT a little bit.
I didn't see it because
I saw like a 60-second version of them talking on stream. I'm not sure how long they actually talked for, but
I don't know because I know I'm gonna holler at him about it and then see what he comes from. But hey, you asked for it, so I'm gonna give it to you. From what I seen, from how it looked like AD was drunk, but it also looked like
I think he confirmed that as well on the call. Yeah,
well, it's even better.
he definitely looked drunk.
So not only that, he didn't get up aggressively. If you just got knocked out or got your ass whooped, you're getting up swinging like Zangief.
And that's one of the funniest things, or the thing that people have drawn attention to, is that after this guy who's kind of like on top of him gets off of him,
Right.
his immediate reaction is not to leap to his feet and attack him
Right.
or leap to his feet at all. It's to remain seated and put his shirt back on,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny. Just
But
that-
you know what would have been more wild if he would have just got up like the Undertaker. It just would have been like, and then went after him. But I think more than likely what happened, and if there's more footage that'll come out, I think what happened is they probably was wrestling, and then AD, because he has more weight, got that weight transfer. This rudimentary physics.
Because, okay, this is what he said on the call, is that basically they walk in to the club. So I'm thinking that this happened like in the club, in the sections, going to war, section, bottle wars, and then this is like a fight that spilled out outside. They were walking in, and OT kind of has the security fucking with him for a second, like trying to stop him or some shit, and like OT tells him like, hey, don't play with me or some shit.
Right.
And then all of a sudden AD's like swinging on one of the security guards, which is probably like an oversimplification, but basically like,
Yeah.
and actually they're like literally probably going to talk about it tonight, so we'll get to hear a better rendition of it.
I'm gonna go pull up.
Yeah, they get into a fight, and then it spills outside because it's obvious from the video
Right.
that something happened before and
Exactly.
something happened after.
Yeah.
This is a 10-second clip, and it's or I think 17 seconds or something like that. It seems like it's the most embarrassing, worst part of the clip.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Right.
like they didn't show how this ended up happening. They just show the part where AD is being manhandled by this guy, and it doesn't make them look good. We have no idea. And one thing that AD said in the clip, that talking to academics, is that what's his name? Trey, one of the other guys that they hang out with. Trey
Yeah.
was literally like on the ground with the security on top of him as this was happening. So there's a bunch of other shit happening that you
I
didn't
gotta
even
go
see
review
in
that
the
clip.
Yeah,
I gotta go review that clip.
I'm not sure if you can actually
Now
see
I
it.
did hear that Trey bit somebody. So I did hear that part. Which, hey, when this fight ain't no rules in fight, I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
I captain this ain't no hit you in the eyes if I had to.
I know, like in the short term, obviously we're all just going to get our jokes off and comment on this, and there's going to be memes or whatever. But ultimately, like, I consider a fight at the club to be like the least damning type of fight.
Right.
Everyone's drunk. You're probably wearing some weird ass shoes. It's slippery on the fucking floor. You're falling all over the place.
Right.
And realistically, most of the time, or like a lot of the times in the club, it's just like a fight and there's no guns. You can't get in the club with a gun for the most part for most people.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't turn into that.
Well, your
and
equilibrium
this is
is
out of
off.
town too.
Yeah.
So he's probably,
Oh.
it was in San Diego.
Oh.
So he's moving differently than he probably would move at a club in LA, you would think.
All right. I didn't know where it happened at.
Yeah.
But I mean, your equilibrium is off. I've been a head bouncer before. So it's when you're dealing with drunk ass people, they have the confidence of an ox, but have the goddamn stance of a toddler. So it's difficult to essentially be able to properly defend yourself. Because
Exactly.
it definitely looked like AD was inebriated in that. But as long as he wasn't getting UFC, head pounding the ground, punch thrown and everything like that, And that damn lock that OT Genesis put on him, I was trying to see if he pressed his arm up. But even then, like I said, I don't think that AD lost, because if that's my homie and that happened to him, even when the security grabbed you, I'm hitting you real quick. I got to hit you with something.
Yeah, based on that video, obviously doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But it's also like not enough for me to really make a judgment of how it went down. To me, okay, if you get in a fight at the club, you get your ass beat.
Yeah.
That's an L. Yes.
Right.
You look bad. But if you get to live another day and you didn't do some host shit, it's ultimately not that big of an L.
They got to go like we did. Like I got a viral fight with knocking somebody out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I don't even know about this.
Put his ass on the ground. But it's a long story short, there's a dude just shit talking, and Lupe Fiasco was on stage, and he was like, and I wouldn't grab dude, but it's another dude who grabbed him. It was like a big ass dude, like 6'6", damn near eat screws for goddamn breakfast.
Doing security is crazy because all of a sudden you're beefing with random people on behalf of whatever rapper hires you, right?
Yeah.
That's sick.
But the funnier part is, if you approach him with a lot of respect,
Right.
like, let's just say, no disrespect to Josh, but Josh is shorter and stuff like that.
Our Josh.
Yeah,
okay.
If I was to walk with Josh and stuff like that, he was getting out his body a little bit, I'd be, hey, big dog, hey, man, don't ruin your night. I'm going to talk you off the ledge.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't notice, the job of the security is not to harm people. It's to de-escalate the situation. Let me save the person I'm supposed to save, get them out of harm's way, make sure they get out of here. Now, if you take it up with me, then that's what we're going to do.
And that's why it's important, especially in a place like LA, and especially if you're dealing with rappers and people who might interact with gang members and shit. If your security understands the streets and has a certain degree of respect, that's going to go a long way. Because a lot of people in LA, in terms of gangsters and shit, they're not going to respect someone on some tough shit unless they are from somewhere and can communicate that. And I've kind of seen that dynamic where if you're like a real square security guard,
it ain't gonna go well.
You're not gonna get the respect of a lot of the people that you might.
But you gotta be tuning. You gotta be a turned up non-affiliate. Like, you gotta be with them hands. Like, when I got called, it's because I could really fight, but I also knew how to talk to people.
Right.
So I know if you getting out your body, I know. Hey, big homie, hey, can you calm that down? You looking at me like 5'7". Hey, this 6'3" big ass dude just called me big homie. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down. Bro, you came here to fight or you came here to get bitches? Which one you doing? So I know how to manipulate you mentally so that you don't crash out. Like
that's a good one.
Yeah, you have to though. Cause like for me, the last fight I got into when I was doing security was from a dude that was cussing me the fuck out.
Right.
I mean, literally, you a bitch ass nigga, fuck you. All this shit. I'm like, all right, man, yeah, have a good one. Have a good night, man. You been drinking? Don't drink and drive. Nah, bitch, I'll drink whatever fuck I want. Fuck you. I'm gonna get drunk in this parking lot. All right, cool, man. Just don't drink and drive. It's police down this motherfucker. But where I lost it was, he said, I'm gonna go to the car. Now, I know what that mean.
Right.
And then whenever people are fighting, I swear to you, it may look like they throwing a million punches. It's always this shit.
Yeah.
Go for the big hit. Hit right here, boom. Slap him right there. Take your ass to sleep. That shit. But it's not like, once again, it's not hard when you doing security to fuck somebody ass up, especially in a bar. They're already drunk. If you can't whip a drunk person's ass, you shouldn't be there. But like when I get around bouncers and shit, I always tell the story of when I didn't. Like, and there was 3 motherfuckers yelling at me and shit. Oh, fuck you and all this shit. And I looked them right in the face and said, this how you motherfuckers gonna do me?
I don't know if I ever had to fight a drunk person while I was sober. Because can you really like see the punches coming
Yes,
because
you
they're
can.
moving way slower?
Yes, you can.
Damn, that's gonna be a great feeling.
I promise you. But like, to finish the story off, I just looked at these guys and was like, this how you motherfuckers gonna do me after all the shit I let you motherfuckers get away with? They just dropped their head and walked the fuck off. Because all I was saying was true. I let you motherfuckers come in here, do certain shit I'm supposed to kick you out on. I don't. I tell you, calm it down. I know that this place is like 20 minutes away. You done got in your best dressed. You done put on your colognes, you smell good and shit like that. The bitch ain't fucking with you. Probably done bought her this expensive ass drink and all this, and I'm the person telling you your night is over. Man, fuck you. I can't say fuck this bitch, but fuck you. I'm gonna do something. So I know it's not me, it's the rejection. But since it seems like I'm the last fucking step, you gonna try to step on that shit. And I just, for the most part, I approach a lot of shit with a lot of respect. I learned that doing this podcast and stuff. People gonna have their opinions about you. They gonna like you. And I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to ask you, how the fuck do you deal with that shit? Like, bro, you be having like 100 videos a day with people just coming at your head. Like, what stops you from just doing lame shit? Like, man, fuck this person, fuck that person. I seen whole channels dedicated to dissing you.
You know, it's just like what other people think of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
I think you just got to like get that through to yourself at a certain point. Because I've been dealing with that since high school. Like even in high school, I had a fucking blog with like 100 people reading it. And I was getting like serious hate because I was just talking shit. I didn't give a fuck. And like,
What was it about?
it was just about my life. Like there was this website called Live Journal that like everybody had when I was like 15 in the year like 2000 or 1999 or whatever.
Right.
And like everybody in my school had it. This is like a precursor to Facebook or MySpace or whatever. And like I would just talk shit. And like people would fucking hate me. Like even at a young
But what
age.
were you saying though? Like, what was elicited in they?
I would talk about some shit that somebody did in school. Like I would just be like,
Oh.
this kid is in the classroom and he's a fucking idiot. I was just like,
you attacking
and
somebody.
at first it was like a surprise, like, oh fuck, like people are gonna read the shit I write, like, and then it became like, well, I don't like, I'm just gonna talk about shit. Like,
Well, you slight way started it though.
oh yeah, I was totally provoking it, but I was just kind of like, even at a young age, I was like getting myself used to that feeling of like, people are gonna hate you.
Sticks and
It's
stones.
okay. It doesn't matter. What are they gonna do? I have to go to a fucking parent dinner. It's like literally, I'm going to a steakhouse with mad parents from the fucking school that my
Hibachi?
kid goes to. Probably just like a regular steakhouse. I don't know, but that's why I have to cut this interview short.
No, you good.
And that's why I wish that Flacco and fucking all them were on here so they could make it longer because I feel like we could talk for at least another hour.
We definitely could. We'll get it again.
Gotta go hang out with normies, dude. But I'm down.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you.
Talk about being a dad and not like who's snitching for a little while. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Ceddy Nash, let's do some shit soon. Let's do another one soon.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world.
He said it. I don't have to. Like, comment, subscribe, but we out.